We are rolling.
Good morning. Welcome back to the conversation. This is Midlife Crisis Activities. This is our lifestyles and pop culture webcast. Our daily shout out to the world. I'm your host, Patrick Russell. And over there is my very vivacious producer, Veronica. Together, we're here to lend our voices to the noise from a multi-generational perspective to help explain everything that's right and wrong in this world. Good day to you, Veronica. A fun topic today, right? Came across a nice story, guys. The first actual commercial superstar and movie creator has blasted off into space. Russian actress Yulia Peresild, hopefully not butchering that name, and movie producer Klim Shimpenko. So they've arrived at the International Space Station and will be for the next couple of days filming an actual part of the movie that they're going to be releasing later on next year, The Challenge. But that's not the real big news. The real big news is that Hollywood is not far behind. Tom Cruise has already booked his flight. He's got his butt already paid for in a seat that's going to be blasting off into space later on this year. And he, too, will be filming a commercial movie, a blockbuster, directed by Doug Liman. And so that begs the question, how much longer before all of the big-time science fiction producers and movie filmmakers blast off into space? James Cameron, Christopher Nolan, even young guys like Neil Blomkamp. I mean, you give them the canvas of space. You can only imagine what kind of creative movies they could come up with that we've never seen before. But my question to you is on a side story, Veronica, about VR. Oculus, these little headgear things, the virtual reality and video games, and moving on to actual experiences that these companies are now going to sell. Going into space, I could see as a VR video game that would be the perfect vacation in space, as opposed to the real thing, which would be probably 100 to 1,000 times more expensive. And just as dangerous, right? I mean, not to mention having the crying kid next to you on your rocket trip to space would be really annoying.
I don't think you will be taking a kid on to the moon.
But you get what I'm saying? I mean, the imperfections of reality, the cost of reality versus the simplicity and perfection. You get the perfect vacation, the perfect parachute jump out of an airplane, a robbery of a bank down the line, it's going to get kind of gritty, and there's going to be a market for all of those things. From a younger generation's perspectives, what is the thoughts of you thinking that experiences like going to space will be available on VR, and would you prefer that to the actual real thing?
I mean, if you're talking about this, going to space, definitely. I don't think I want to go to space yet.
What about like jumping out of a plane? Would you prefer the VR experience, which by all accounts is still going to give you a pretty darn good thrill, without any of the parachute not opening and falling down to your death type of thing?
Yeah, I think so. I think for now I will want to try that first, especially those type of like adventures, and
especially
then kind of risky
the game is going to be like a $59.99 download, right? I mean, $59 is a lot cheaper than maybe $500,000 that the going rate for an Amazon Blue Horizon.
I mean, I don't know.
Would cost.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Probably, like I said, I want to give it a try too. Like maybe you can try it first, and then if nothing happens to you, and then probably I can jump into the idea of it. But I'm kind of chicken when it comes to like space and then like high stuff, and that's not me.
I think this is about really this time bubble that our generation, because we're just putting our first foot into space, privatization of space is going to explode. But you're still talking about endeavors 10, 20, 30 years down the line. So it's still going to be decades before safe and cheap space travel is going to be available. So for our generation specifically, I think VR is going to be that bridge that really propels at least the experience and our imagination of being to get exposed to those new vistas and those new views from outer space, but not really having to afford or the capability of actually putting our butt into space.
I think kids now, like I have a nephew, Emilio.
Yeah, the next generation, my kids.
He's 5. Well, I mean, I'm thinking more of like little kids, like 5, 6 years old.
Understood.
You know,
True enough.
Probably that will
More
be
realistic.
Yeah, more realistic.
That'll be the
Especially-
generation that could probably keep their Oculus in the closet and actually take a real cheap, safe ride into space.
And that they used to. I mean, they do that all the time.
Or
if you
take an
notice.
elevator.
Yeah.
Take an elevator into space.
Yeah, I mean, why
potentially.
not? Yeah.
Guys, please, there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer, but there is your opinion. Please use the comment box below. Don't just subscribe to this channel, even though we will be doing this back and forth to kind of show you what a power couple thinks about on a day-to-day basis, but lend your voice to the show. It'll make it a whole lot more fun. Guys, it doesn't matter what comes your way today. It doesn't matter what challenges or obstacles you may face. You just need to remember one thing. Give them hell. Have a great day. Talk to you tomorrow.